Hello Cancer friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my video, Cancer April 2021 Astrology Must Knows. April is my second favorite month of the whole year from the astrological perspective, so we're going to go into all of the reasons to celebrate the aspects this month. You'll see why I'm excited about this month. We'll also talk about some things specific for Cancer, what there is to be excited about, what there is to watch out for, and how to make lemonade in the case of some lemons. And speaking of which, if you'd like that same profile, what to celebrate, what to look out for, and how to make lemonade for every month for the whole year as a sneak peek, you'll get that special report called 2021 Happy Scopes when you sign up for my free email newsletter at anniehelpsyou.com. You'll also get a sneak peek into in-depth monthly information, including every aspect and what you can expect from it delivered into your inbox 1 month early. So you can check all that out at anniehelpsyou.com. So what's going on this month? Okay, this is why I'm excited. First is that we have more sweet aspects than salty ones. That's not going to happen very many months in the year, whole year of 2021. March, it's happening. April, it's happening. Okay, so it's not everything in astrology to have just a favorable sweet to salty aspect ratio, but it definitely is something and you will feel it. And it is positive. The second thing is that we don't have any of those really annoying, stressful, heavy aspects that we've come to have as our normal experience. 2020 and then January and February of 2021 each had those heavy aspects. You know, we had Saturn square Uranus in February. Remember all of the chaos that's going on right now when I'm recording, just like the storms and the earthquakes and the crazy things. I mean, it's been crazy town. And of course, you remember what happened in January. We don't need to get into all that, but we've been feeling that. So March and April, we don't have any of those heavy aspects. It doesn't mean that there won't be notable world events. Like life is still going on and there are other factors than what we're looking at that are affecting things. But when we have those heavy aspects, we really feel it. And we're not having that happen at this time. Okay, so I'm even more excited about this month compared to March because of all of this fire energy. And we'll talk about how fire affects you and what you can do with that as a Cancer. But in general, it's supreme for ambition, restoring your ambition, increasing your vitality, helping you to feel more optimistic, helping things to start moving forward. And let's face it, we really need that, right? We had a brief opening at in December into the beginning of January where we had some open stars free of the personal planet retrogrades. When Mercury or Venus or Mars are retrograde or we're in one of those shadow periods, we get cast into uncertainty. Things that are sure fall through or get cast into doubt. And you could see that, like even as I'm recording this, the end of January, all of February, and even into early March, it's all about, things we thought were sure are, falling apart. Nobody knows the answer to anything. Nobody can plan anything. So as we get deeper into March and now for all of April, this will be the best time for making some plans compared to what we've just gone through for well over a year. All right. And some big things can actually happen in this month. And for things that aren't quite ready to happen, we're going to start to see when they might happen and start making some plans again. Now, it doesn't mean that COVID goes away as a problem, right? This is a long-standing issue that we're dealing with in different countries, and different people are going to have different experiences with restrictions as we're working through this. But certainly the stars are opening up and many, many individuals are going to be feeling that. So hopefully you're one of them. So let's see. Something else I like about this month is that we're not in the heat of eclipse season yet. We are going to start getting into eclipse season as the month goes on. But May and June are going to be like super crazy with radical changes, brilliant new beginnings, dramatic endings. But we're not quite in that time yet. So we've got a little bit of a reprieve from that still, which is very refreshing. So as we move towards the end of the month, because 4 to 6 weeks before the eclipses start, we start getting into eclipse season. 4 to 6 weeks before May 26th, when the first eclipse happens, is casting us well into April, right? So, or well backwards into April if we're counting back from May. And so you're going to start getting news and information that is related to these eclipses. The eclipse theme started to get really strong around June of last year, May and June. into July. Then they kind of went into the backdrop. These Sagittarius Gemini eclipses started at that time. Then everything came back again, November, December, January. Then it's kind of faded into the recesses. And now here, April, May, June, We're going to start working with that information that had been kind of a, a pattern. It's going to come back in. It's going to very strongly feature education, international relations, whether it's travel or otherwise, the institutions, the connections between us and different countries, individually and as countries, the exchanges, the financial things, all of these things that have been, like the exchange rates, all of that kind of stuff. But down to the individual, basically the taking in of information and the sharing of information is going to be very strongly featured. Now, in the May report and the June report, I'll drill down to go even into more detail about what you'll likely see from that, but that's just a general overview. So we've got a little bit of a break from that. Now, let's talk about the difference between the first half of April and the second half of April as it relates to being a Cancer. The first half of April is really full of fire energy, and that fire energy is going to make a square for your placement. So what this does whenever we've got fire under a water sign is it rolls things to a boil, right? So you're going to be rolling to a boil, for better or worse. You're going to be agitated about something. Something's going to be irking you. You're rolling to a boil with anger, right? Okay. Or you're rolling to a boil with being fed up and ready to do something. Fortunately, this is an amazing month to do anything, pretty much. And you might just be rolling to a boil with your ambitions and your clarity and just getting ready to go, whatever it is that you want to do. April is one of my favorite months of the whole year for engagements, weddings, launches of business, starting of school programs, commitments to anything having to do with contracts, investments, starting a new job, finding a job, starting a new business, all of these things. Oh, making purchases, like large purchases, homes, selling homes, buying homes, devices, cars, anything like that. This month has a lot of great energy for that. So if you have that pending, this might be a time where you can, like if you're in February now and you're like, oh, I'm kind of going to need something. The stars aren't real great for those purchases in February, but they will be in April. So a lot of stuff is going to come up in your work and career sector. Things, tensions at your job, trying to make a decision to leave, layoffs, retraining for different careers, raises, recognition, annoying people at work, things like that. Bosses, feeling marginalized by, different people in the office. Like, there are tensions that are building in your workspace, but don't be afraid of this. Sometimes the tensions are what's needed to be a catalyst for something. You've got a lot brewing. You've had a lot brewing for a long time with your work world, and this is going to add to that. Now, for those of you who are retired, this can be your place out in the world. This could be your work with the Civic Association or the place you volunteer or your, something that you're doing out in the world, even if it's not paid work. And for all of you, anything having to do with your fathers or father figures or healing relationships, even if that person has passed on, centered around your relationship with your significant other, a masculine energy in your life, from the perspective of like father figure or something like that, and then how we often replay our relationships with dad into our other relationships, and we're like, oh my God, you make me feel like my dad made me feel, and so that type of story, like dealing with daddy stuff, is definitely up. Now that's more in the first half of the month. As the month goes on, those planets that were annoying you in that square are going to turn to beautiful gold for Cancer because they move into Taurus. And Taurus makes that ingredients on a counter angle that I always love to talk about, the 60-degree angle, which is the angle of opportunity. And that we actually have a lot of the 60-degree angle in the sky. And then you've got, just like for everybody, but then you also have, with all the planets moving through Taurus, these 60-degree angles for you. So that makes it very likely that this is going to be a month of lots of opportunities. And there have been some months where there haven't been a lot of opportunities. Things have just been like, God, what's going on here? All the heaviness, the weirdness. But this is a month that crackles with possibility. The more you look for something that could be a quote opportunity, the more you'll find it, and you might have to change your perspective on something. So something that you can ask yourself is, are you giving yourself grief by questions that you ask yourself in your workspace or related to your father experience? The questions we ask ourselves are one of the most powerful vehicles for manifestation, creation, and change that we have available to us. If you're asking yourself the question, how am I going to make $100, right? Then your being is posed around solving that question. Whereas if you ask yourself a question, how can I make $1,000? Like you upped it. Then your being is surrounded by trying to solve that problem, your unconscious mind, all of your creation factors. If you ask yourself, how can I make more money even if I have to work harder? That's fine. Then you're going to create having to work harder in order to make money. But if you ask yourself the question, how can I work not as hard and make more money? And you rally behind that question, then you start to create something different. So, these are just a couple of random examples related to like work things. But the more you get into the psychology of this for yourself, like what questions are you asking yourself? What problems are you posing? You might say that life is posing you certain problems, but a lot of times we're really actually the ones doing that. And so you have a really powerful opportunity at this time to reframe those things. And you'll have a lot of help, especially from being annoyed by certain things in the first half of the month. And then the second half of the month, you might start to be able to reframe it and be like, oh, okay, maybe I can ask a different question. So you're going to have a lot of energy lit up around your friendships and your social scenes. Now, I don't know how much of this is going to be live, how much is going to be virtual, but from the chart's perspective, it doesn't matter. Social connections are social connections, whether they're live or not. Social media, groups, anything having to do with networking. This is an amazing time for networking. You can get more done in this time with networking than you've gotten done in a really long time. And the odds of you meeting a key person that can help you are really supercharged. And this is actually true in the long term as well, but it's especially true now, and it's especially true in the last 10 days of the month, because the planet Uranus that's bringing all of this energy there in a long-term way to this sector of your chart is going to combine with Venus, then Mercury, then the Sun, and all of that's going to really be featured around, these people, these powerful people, these key people in your life who you might not know yet, who you might meet in April. And because there's no retrograde energy this month, it's possible that someone from your past could hold a key for you. And if you have an intuition about connecting with someone, you have to do that. But there's even more potential around it being a new person, somebody who you don't know yet. All right, so have your feelers out for that. Okay, let's see. Okay, there's two more things I want to talk about. The second to last thing I want to talk about has to do with Cancers as supreme empaths. Okay, everybody that knows anything about Cancer knows that you're really sensitive. You're sensitive to other people. You're sensitive to violence on TV. You're sensitive to just everything. And those sensitivities can be a gift, but a lot of times it's debilitating for you. In many cases, your extra sensitivity is occurring because your adrenals are blown. All right, I'm not a doctor, I'm not prescribing anything, but I can definitely promise you that many people listening to me right at this moment, if you could heal your adrenals and support your adrenals, your capacity to deal with people and life is going to profoundly adjust. Okay, so just look up adrenal fatigue. Look up, how to support your adrenals. I'll tell you what I do to support my adrenals, and the reason why I'm talking to you about this is because I'm an empath and I've had my adrenals blown, and part of what makes people extra empathic is that their adrenals are blown because they feel everything and they can't. The capacity to filter is not present. I take liquid methylated B vitamins 3 times a day. That's how one of the things your adrenals need B vitamins for food. I take an adrenal complex 2 to 3 times a day. The ones that I like, there's a brand called Mary Ruth's, and it's all organic and it's liquid, and you can just put it under your tongue. Okay. Now, again, I'm not prescribing this for you. You have to check with your doctor, make sure it's okay, that there's, do your own research. But I'm just telling you what I have done that has really helped me. These are not animal-based products. So those of you who are vegans, those are safe for you. But you need that support. You need that support to have the most healthy, happy, fulfilling life that you want. And if you can get that support going, like now when we're, I'm sending this out to you early, that by the time these opportunities start to come to you, the overwhelm that you often feel that makes you not be able to take advantage of certain opportunities, you might be in a better position to, to greet what wants to come for you. Okay. So the second to last thing, or no, that was the second to last thing. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the eclipses. Oh, we actually did talk about that already. Right. So in May and June, I'll go into the specifics of what those will each look like, but I talked about some of the general things. Okay, so good. So we covered everything. So in general, obviously a very exciting month. It's going to be overstimulating. It's going to be full of possibilities. You're going to have to activate it. You want to, get good sleep if you can. Having your adrenals healthy, by the way, and happy is going to help your sleeping. So if you're an insomniac, that might be a byproduct of this adrenal thing. And yeah, so hopefully these energies will manifest really positively for you, and hopefully the surprises at the end of the month with those Uranus conjunctions making a nice angle for you. Oh yeah, that is something else that I wanted to tell you. All of you have the chance to have sweet things come from those Uranus conjunctions in the last 10 days of the month. But those of you who are at the end of, so like the June born, the first couple of days of July, like the last 5 days of June and the first 5 days of July, the closer to 10 degrees, the more impact, direct impact. You all have an even higher chance of having a direct positive hit from this aspect. If you don't know your degrees, I recommend you run a free birth chart online, because all the degrees will be there. The numbers, it's the number that's next to the planet. Yeah, so you can use my work more if you know more about your chart. So hopefully you'll look more into that. I know I've given you a lot of information, but if you would like even more information on what's going on in the stars and what you can expect, then definitely utilize all of my free resources. You can click under this video on the More button with the little arrow, and it will reveal all of these links that take you to all of these different resources that I have. You'll definitely want to go to anniehelpsyou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter. It's positioned right there on the front page. It'll say Dear Friend, and it'll have a space for your name and email address, and you'll get my sweet and salty list, including a detailed write-up of the month 1 month early delivered into your inbox, plus other goodies. You'll also get access to my 2021 Happy Scopes, which gives you an overview of each month of 2021, so you get a super sneak peek into all of the months ahead for 2021, and what to celebrate, what to watch out for, and how you can make lemonade in situations where there are some lemons. You can also get my Shine, my 28-day virtual coaching program, for free when you sign up for my free email newsletter. So I give lots of goodies to my email community, and you can become a part of that by going to anniehelpsyou.com and signing up there. If you want written horoscopes 1 month early, written by me, and then also other lifestyle blogs, then you can go to cozybysweetstarlight.com and check out all the goodies there. It's a beautiful, beautiful site. It's worth a peek just to check out how pretty it is. And there's lots of great information for your astrology-kissed life. If you want to have some free courses, you can go to my school, Luminous Life Multiversity, at lumelife.com, L-U-M-E, life.com. You can see my free courses there, including Unleash Your Money Magnet if you're trying to work on manifesting more money. And you can also see my paid courses there, including my crazy in-depth Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery course that will prepare you to do whatever you'd like to do with astrology, whether it's for your own self-development, helping your family and friends, or actually doing astrology as all are part of your profession. Also, check out my new book, Planetology, How to Align with the Natural Rhythms of the Universe, which you can find anywhere and everywhere. It's actually in the physical locations of every Barnes & Noble and Books A Million in the United States, and in many stores abroad, and everywhere online. And you can also see my other book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life in the World in 28 Days. And you can find that anywhere online as well. So I hope you have a wonderful month. Make sure you look at all the resources underneath the video. Click the More button. And I'll see you next month. Bye.